Posted a video when I was 16, talking about a little bit of dreams I had. I was just kind of chilling and thought of a couple things I wanted to achieve in life. And I thought it'd be interesting to follow up on that video. And that's now 7 years later. I'm 23. So yeah, it's been 7 years since that video. And I wanted to follow up on that and potentially make this a yearly thing. Maybe around my birthday or just at the end of each year. Kind of just a life progress update and how things have changed. So I'm going to keep referring to this journal throughout it. It's my journal. I took a bunch of notes and wrote some questions for this video. So it's a little bit more structured than the last one because I was just 16, kind of dreaming a little bit. I do want to clarify too, this video is more or less for myself to kind of look back on, but I figured it'd be kind of cool to share it publicly as well. That's why I'm posting it here. But I might be referring to myself a little bit during this because it's kind of conversation with my past self and my future self. So since it's been 7 years, I think I should kind of fill in the gap a little bit. So in that video, I talked about being financially stable is one of my goals. And I'm not absolutely balling out here, but I am financially stable. I do have a job. I wanted a decent car. I talked about having a Lamborghini one day, best case scenario. I still have my Prius that I had in that video. I just probably got it when I was 16. So I still have the 2013 Prius. Still running good. She's a good girl. She's still kicking out here. So it's not the coolest car in the world, but it's paid off. I don't have any payment on it. And it gets me from point A to point B, and it has good gas mileage. So you're still rocking. So one of my other dreams is to make six figures, which we're not there yet. Right now I'm making $54,000 a year. That is my salary. So we're not making six figures, but we're halfway there. And I wanted to get into stockbroking. I wanted to learn to invest. I thought stockbroking would be a great avenue to take to learn how to invest people's money and how to learn how to invest on my own and practice other people's money and learn about the financial industry and the personal finance aspect. So I did not get into stockbroking. I did go to college for finance and marketing. So I kind of followed that route. But I'm still pursuing that. That's still one of my big dreams, and I do want to keep learning how to handle money, and there's a lot to learn. So financial planning is more that avenue. Financial advising is now my dream job. So if it went from stockbroking to financial advising. So I did take a lot of investment courses in college to learn about this stuff, which kept me interested. And I've been investing since I was 18 years old. So as soon as I turned 18, I opened up an investment account and been investing pretty heavily ever since. Pretty much anything I made as a kid, I would just throw into the market. Any excess money besides spend money. And right now I'm a little bit more adulting. I have like couple bills, not a lot, very small stuff, no major payments or anything, but trying to invest as much as I can, save a lot of money. So I guess to follow up on that too, like with learning how to make my own money work for me, I've been reading a lot of books, probably since like 2022, 2021, end of 2021, going into 2022, I started reading a lot. And then up until now, so the past year or two, I've been reading a lot of books. A lot of them are personal finance right away, a lot of YouTube videos. So I'm still chasing that dream. So my 16-year-old self wanted to go to the Bahamas or Hawaii or take very extravagant vacations, which I still think would be cool. It's not like a huge thing of mine. I definitely want to travel a lot, but nothing like that, I don't think, right at the moment. I'm more just trying to get out to local areas, kind of drivable, and then maybe like Europe or some big ones I want to hit. I want to go to like more stuff that relates to like my family tree in the background, like Ukraine, Poland, Eastern Europe. I mean, I have a map up here, and I've traveled to a lot of places around the area, a lot of different states and different big cities. So I've definitely been exploring a little bit more outside of my hometown here. So it's been pretty good so far. I went to Vegas, was a big one. I've been to Myrtle Beach several times since I was 16 and posting that video. I've been to Florida a lot, so I've been traveling a good bit. You've been killing it in that aspect. So one of my big goals was to be above average. I talked about in that video, and I think I'm doing pretty good right now. I looked up some statistics to see how I'm doing. The average net worth of a 23-year-old is $28,700. So net worth is assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. The median, because I think the average is usually skewed, so I like to go with the median numbers. So the median number is 8,200 for a net worth for 23 years old, which I think median is probably more realistic for a 23-year-old that just got out of college, has a bunch of debt. So my net worth, as of this video, is $49,000. So 49,000 is much higher than median is of 8,000 and a lot higher than 28,700. So I'm above average in the net worth aspect for 23 years old. When it comes to salary, the average salary for a 23-year-old is $38,000. I'm making $54,000. So again, we're above average on that. Good job. Things have paid off with college and everything in high school, so we're doing good on that aspect. And I think it's funny too, because I'm making 54 grand right now, which is like $26 an hour. And then back in 2016, I was really happy in that video because I got a 75-cent raise from minimum wage, which was $7.25 an hour, to $8. I talked about my grandparents in that video, saying they're pretty old and they may not be around much longer. They're still around. My grandfather is 96 and my grandmother is 79. So pretty good health for 96 and 79. They're not in the perfect shape, but they're still able to like walk around, and they're still close next to home here, right next door. So yeah, they're still here, and it's good seeing them a lot. Another big thing that changed since that video when I was 16, you'd probably see I was a little bit overweight. I gained some weight during high school. I mean, I've been heavy my whole life. But when I was coming out of high school, I think with football, I lost a decent amount of weight. And then in college, I was like pretty good in the beginning, but then started packing on weight, got really heavy again. But since I graduated last May, so the past like year and 4 or 5 months, I've lost like 50 pounds and was down to 185 a couple weeks ago. So I'm in the best physical condition of my life, which is pretty damn cool because I've always been overweight and it sucked. So I'm hoping to keep this body and keep it in good shape, look good, feel good, be healthy. It's all good benefits. I wanted to film and document a lot more in that video I talked about. I've been journaling since I graduated college. So I have this journal like I showed. I've been taking a lot of notes, writing a lot of thoughts down. I've been listening to a lot of like podcasts and reading a lot of books. So I'll write down like quotes or like things that really stick out to me. So I'm kind of documenting my life in this sense. At the time I was talking about documenting more videos, which I haven't been doing. I still want to do that. I want to get back into making videos and documenting my life. So that's what I'm doing here. Then I interviewed a lot of different jobs. I ended up taking a job at another insurance company because they kind of talked about how I get into like the financial advising route through them, which the more I worked there, I realized wasn't true. They were just trying to get me to sell insurance. I worked there since literally, I think the week after I graduated up until like December of that year last year, 2022. So that's like probably 7 months. And the job was brutal. Didn't enjoy it. It was very frustrating. And a lot of this video, once I get into some stuff after following up from this catch up, I'll kind of talk about that too. But there was some good bonuses that came out of that job. I passed my Securities Industry Essentials exam. I passed my Series 6 exam and my Series 63 through that job. So it kind of worked out. And then last summer is when I really started to eat healthy and go for runs and work out a lot. So that was a big portion of like my last summer. I was really trying to change my body. So I was putting a lot of effort into that last year. So I wrote some questions down that I want to go over in this video. And I want to continue these on hopefully for the every year, just kind of keep doing the same thing and following up and see how the questions and answers change. I guess more the answers, but I might add or take out questions. So the first question I had here were, what are some things that I've learned in the past year? So since graduating college in 2022, I've learned a lot. Getting into the adult world, I learned a lot of things. But I wrote down some bullet points of some stuff that really stuck out to me. So things can change in 1 year, and that could be a good or bad thing, but a lot of things can change in a year. A year's a long time. Like I said, I've been taking notes in my journal. I've looked back at the things that happened in 1 year. I've lost like damn near 50 pounds. I started reading a lot. I got a big boy job working full time, and I hated that job. I got a whole nother job in that time that I love. It's the best thing ever, making more money. I mean, just look around you too, not even just you personally, but all your family, your friends, a lot can happen in 1 year. So that's a good thing to remember. If you're ever feeling like things aren't really moving too fast, just give it a year. A lot can happen. Another important thing I learned this year was to study the people that you want to become or that you really admire. And that's more of like a celebrity or like famous aspect. Obviously, you can't like study necessarily people in like your personal life. You can ask them questions and study them that way. But in terms of like historical figures or people that you really look up to and admire on social media or some sort of whoever it may be, I learned that it's very good to study them. If you like the way they speak, try to study how they speak. If you like the way they dress, learn their dress style and try to wear the things they wear. If you like their morals or the things they talk about and like the way they act, like how are they if they're a good person or the things they value, study their morals and values and try to implement those into your life. And knowledge. Obviously, there's going to be a million people that are smarter than you in different aspects of life. Everyone has something that they're very good and smart at. So if you're interested in something, with mine is like finance, I would study people that are high business owners, they're making a lot of money, how to manage money, how they made all their money, stuff like that. So that's another good skill. You can skip a lot of trial and error if you study the people that you want to be like. Habits are key, and tracking habits is very important. The one important thing I did right when I graduated college is I wrote down all the things that I saw myself as, or the habits I had, or the things I did on a consistent basis. On one side of the page, I put a line in the middle, and on the other side of the page, I wrote down all the things I wanted to be, or all the traits I wanted to have, all the habits I wanted to have. So you have to make sure that whenever you're writing goals and everything, your habits are tracking towards those goals. And it's important to keep track of your habits and be aware of them, because if you're not paying attention to them, you're going to be having a lot of terrible habits that aren't going to be taking you to your goals and making you the person you want to become. So life is short and mortality is the thing. So don't take very stupid risks and risk your mortality. Don't be completely careless. Enjoy your experience on this planet. But life is short, so take some risks that are calculated risk is a good way of putting it. You want to enjoy life and live it fully, but don't sacrifice too much. Don't, like, for example, for myself, I'm not going to invest every single dollar and not go on trips or have any fun at all. That's barely even living. That's just being a slave at that point. Spending time with those who deserve it and make your life better. I think that's something I've learned. Sometimes we feel socially pressured to hang out with friends that are going out to bars, or the fear of missing out, or hanging out with people that want to hang out with us and we don't really want to hang out with them. Or people that treat us like shit. You might not want to hang out with them. So don't give them your time. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. If these people aren't deserving of your time, don't spend your time with them. Why give them your time? If you're not enjoying it, don't waste your time. Time is very important. Spend it with people. It's like investing. Invest your time with people that are important to you, that you can learn something from, that you can help out. Invest your time where you can get something, and invest your time where you can give something. Whether it doesn't even have to be like material or monetary, just whether you can get knowledge or give helping hand on somebody moving out or something. Like, I think it's very important. And it's the people that you care about the most, because that's ultimately going to be the people that are going to stick around the longest, that you invest your time with. So I think that's important. So one thing I struggled with this year, and I learned, you can ask as many people as you want, how well they know you, if they know you, if you're the person that knows you the most, out of anyone you know, you can ask them all the questions and try to get advice from them, or ask your friends and family, whoever it may be, your significant other. But no one knows you as much as yourself. So when you're asking for advice, there's no right answer. People can give you their ideas and their perspectives, but ultimately it's going to be you that knows the right answer or the best move. I struggled with my job last year, and I was asking everyone, like, should I leave my job? Should I look for new jobs? I don't know what to do. This might be like a really good opportunity if I can make it work. I was asking all these questions, and people would be like, yeah, do this, do that. But ultimately, you have to listen to your heart, and whatever you think's best for yourself, you'll ultimately know it deep down. It's good to get perspective from other people, but they're not going to know you as much as all the other variables in your life. They'll only know as much as you tell them. So keep that in mind too. Don't always take people's advice. Listen to yourself too. Action beats inaction is another good point. I've been struggling with that for the past year a little bit, but I've realized that just doing something, whether it's small, is better than not doing anything at all. If you want to do something, you might be trying to plan for it and figure out all of the ins and outs of doing it. Just do it. Just start somewhere. Whether it's like the smallest little thing, just start. Action always beats inaction. So another good thing I learned this year is when it comes to comparison with people, it's you versus you. You're all that you got. When you're going to the gym, whether it's you're trying to get a good physique or healthy physique, whether it's like with money, you're trying to save up money, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to where you were. That's the whole point of making this video for myself, to look back on myself and following years and just who am I becoming, or like what things am I learning, how are my finances going, stuff like that. You got to compare yourself to you. Look, like we can get so caught up. There's always somebody doing better than you somewhere. There's always somebody doing worse than you. It's very easy to compare yourself with other people and get jealous or like think of like, how am I doing things wrong? It's important to compare yourself to yourself. When it comes to the gym, I would measure my own weight, look back at my own weights every month, every year. All the weights I can lift, like at my different levels, how much weight I can bench. I would track my bench progress and everything. So like I could bench 145, for example, and I can now bench 225. So it's cool to look back on that and say like, I can beat my younger self type of thing. And compare myself to myself, not the guy that's benching 405 pounds across the room. I'm not even in the same playing field as that guy, right? So why should I get caught up with him? Same with money too. You can see kids your age spending all this money, having nice cars, say they're making a ton of money at work. A lot of people are probably like flexing and trying to show off because they're not really making that much money. They want to look like they are. But if someone's buying a new car, yeah, I might get jealous. This guy has like a brand new BMW or something that's like my age or younger. But I don't know his situation. Maybe he literally makes $30,000 a year and put all his money into this car and has like nothing left over. Because there's people that do that. And I've learned that too. And it's pretty wild to like think about that. Just because people look rich doesn't mean they actually are rich. Some things I no longer struggle with. This is my second question. My rough relationship. I was in a very rough relationship in college and it sucked towards the end. Not all my girlfriend at the time's fault. A lot of it was my fault, and not knowing how to communicate or how to handle things as I was younger and it was my first like real relationship. So it was a big learning experience, but I was very miserable in it and I wasn't happy. So I don't struggle with that anymore. I don't struggle with my weight. I still a little bit I want to be like super cut and like 5% body fat, but I don't struggle as much as I used to. I used to struggle a lot, just daily, like being, even going out to like social settings, wearing the right clothes to like cover up stuff. It sucked. I hated being overweight. I don't struggle with that as much at all anymore. I actually feel very good in my body and I like to wear kind of whatever I want. I don't get worried about wearing like tight clothes and stuff. Like it's really nice. I used to black out like every weekend in college, probably like twice a week at one point, maybe 3 times a week. We'd probably drink like 4 days out of the week. So I would always hated like waking up just hungover and like disgusted with myself, my actions. So I don't struggle with that anymore. I don't drink heavily. I go out maybe like once to twice a month, if that, and it's usually very casual. Maybe like for a birthday party once every few months, I'll go like pretty hard, but I don't struggle with alcohol as nearly as bad as I used to. I no longer struggle with social media as much. I got rid of TikTok at first, and then right when I graduated, that was like back in college, I think like February 2022, and then May of 2022, I got rid of Instagram, and now I just have Snapchat. So I don't struggle with social media, and that's like another thing too, is I used to compare myself to everyone on social media. I used to like look at all the stuff they have, see all their followers, their lifestyle, all the things they're doing. I used to just spend hours on Reels and TikTok, just swiping. I spent a lot of time on there that's wasted now. And I don't regret deleting those 2 things. They've been gone on my phone ever since, which is very nice. But Snapchat I keep for communication with like group chats and like pictures with people. And it's like a story-based thing, so I can see people like live, kind of what they're doing that day. What are some things that I still struggle with, or some new things that I struggle with that I've built onto my struggle bus here? So I still struggle with vaping. I still vape. I've tried to quit a handful of times. I think my longest streak was like 3 weeks. I definitely want to quit vaping, but I just haven't been able to kick it yet. I still drink occasionally, like I said, so I still struggle with like drinking in a general aspect because I would like to just stop drinking at some point. I struggle with taking risks. I'll take very, very calculated risks, but when it comes to like doing something like very crazy and like risky and that sounds fun, I struggle with that because I don't want to I have the fear of hurting my reputation or myself or like myself financially. So I still struggle with taking big risks, which I think that's something I want to work on and be able to take bigger risks in life. I still procrastinate a lot. I got a lot better at it, but I still do procrastinate. I'm not perfect at it at all. I'm very aware of it too, which frustrates me, but I'm not just on top of things 100% of the time. I still have to, there's a couple things that always just get pushed to the bottom of the list and they've just been sitting there. And then religion, I do want to go back to church and go back to mass every Sunday and pray a lot more. I've been struggling with that, trying to keep that consistent, or just even going back to church. I haven't gone to mass yet, but that's something on my to-do list. So my next question is, how was life this past year and the ups and downs? So I kind of went over that through a lot of this stuff so far. I went from a very terrible job to a very good job, like I talked about, and I'm very happy now, and there's a lot of potential for the future, which is very exciting. The past year, I grew a lot, and I grinded a lot. I spent a lot of time on myself, a lot of self-development last fall into the winter, last summer too. I've just been grinding and trying to better myself and change myself. I was dating around a lot last year. I would go on a few casual dates, a lot of one-time dates, probably honestly to get some feedback on how I'm developing because I would just be grinding, studying all these books and working my body. So I was trying to get some outside feedback because I still was mentally not seeing myself as progressing. So I was trying to get how do I fit in the dating game and my dating material, because that was a big goal of I want to be somebody that is dateable. So I was dating around a lot, nothing super serious. I maxed out my Roth IRA contributions. I started my 401k at work. Like I said, I got my SIE exam passed, my Series 6 and my Series 63. I started dating my current girlfriend. December I met her of 2022, and then we started dating in February of 2023 officially. I got in the best shape of my life. And I'm making big boy money now, which is pretty cool. Back in college, I think the most I was making was maybe $500 to $1,000 a month, somewhere around there. Probably more like 600 towards the end of college, as I was looking for jobs and stuff. I didn't really need money as much as I knew it was coming. But yeah, so it's really nice to make some serious cash after that. What would I tell my younger self? So this is something I did, but I would still tell myself to do it. Start investing and stay invested. The biggest thing is stay invested, because I made a lot of sells that I should have kept and held those up until now. Like Tesla, I bought that in 2019 and sold it in 2019. I was up 10, I think it was up 40%, but I would be up I think 40 times that value right now. So that sucks. But yeah, invest, stay invested. Keep using the planner, I tell myself, because I use my planner every single day and it helps a lot. A planner helps you get stuff done, helps you stay on track, stay organized. Kind of talked about this earlier, but friends. So friendships, tests. Well, I guess friendships was in quotations. So friendships, tests, part-time jobs, they're all not as serious as you think they are. You take them seriously at certain times, which is good, but when somebody's not your friend anymore, you don't hang out with this person, or it's awkward or there's tension, it's not serious at all. It's not gonna matter in 6 months, if that. All the tests that you really stress over, especially in high school and college a little bit, smaller tests and stuff, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's good to like get your grade, but there's no reason to like kill yourself and like miss out on absolutely everything to study and stress like to the end of the world about it. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, just do what you have to, get it done, but don't ruin your whole like college experience over tests. I didn't really do that, but it's just funny how like looking back, I don't even think about like studying for tests and stuff at all. Take care of your body. That's something I wish I would have done earlier. I'm working on it now, I guess. So a lot of work to do with like drinking and vaping, but so that's something I do wish I would definitely tell my younger self to work out, eat better, take care of your body. So here are some things I want to say or ask to my future self. So I guess in the following videos to follow up to this, hopefully I'll get a response. I am curious to see if I'm still dating my current girlfriend, which I hope we are, obviously. But like I said, a lot can happen in 1 year, so hopefully all things are good. How much has my net worth grown? Like I said in this video, my net worth is $49,000. So I want to know how much that has grown by the next time I make one of these. Did I move out yet? I'm currently still living at home, and I am hoping that you've moved out at this point. Did you start posting on YouTube? I've been wanting to post on YouTube for a long time, but I haven't got around to it. I'm hoping to really make that a more consistent thing. Don't forget to spend time with mom, dad, AJ, grandma, and grandpa. Some of the most important people in your life. So don't forget to keep hanging out with them and spend a lot of time. Even if you move out, make the time to see them, and it makes them very happy. And take care of yourself. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your relationships. And then the final point I want to talk about is my goals and dreams. So like I did in my first video, I talked about when I was 16, I talked about all my goals and dreams. So here are my goals in life. I've had 2022, 2023 goals. I'm going to go over the ones that I have currently. I'm not going to backtrack. So the next year, I want to start making YouTube videos about life and finances. I want to become licensed with my CFP, get my CFP, which is a certified financial planner. I hopefully will get that in the next year, I'm hoping, maybe the next couple years, but I'd like to get that as soon as possible. Get an apartment and rent, move out, or buy a house and move out, and hopefully either buy a house or rent an apartment and move out. Either way, just move out. Put a down payment on my first rental property within the next 5 years, hopefully 3 to 5 years. Start renting out that property. Start a business at some point. Acquire other rentals. House hack or keep renting during all this while I'm building up rental properties. Have a $100K investment portfolio in the next 5 to 10 years. $2 million net worth by 30 years old. Get married. Have 2 to 4 kids. Travel the world. Italy, Scotland, UK, France, Russia, China, Japan, Poland, Germany, Slovakia. Okay, so yeah, those were a lot of metric goals. I could kind of measure those for the most part. Then these are some goals I had in life that were not necessarily measurable. Be a good father. Be a good son. Be a good brother. Be a good husband. And be a good friend. Look back and be able to say to my younger self that we have made it. Take care and set up future children and grandchildren financially, and with not just financially, but that's a big aspect of it, but set them up for their life. And take care of them as my parents and grandparents have done to me. Raise smart, respectful kids. Teach them about hard work, manners, to be good people, financially literate, ethical, social, healthy, build good habits, grateful, and keep them close together. Make my future wife feel like she is the most amazing woman and give her the world. Marry my best friend and build an empire together. Leave a legacy. Maybe write a book. Leave videos behind. Change the world for the better in some sort of capacity, whether it's big or small. Stay super close with my family, my mom, dad, and brother. Host parties, events, or dinners at my house. I think it'd be really cool to host some sort of I don't know, some sort of events where I get a big group of people together or have a dinner and just invite another friend over or something. I really want to do that. I never really had that opportunity with my house as a kid living at home. Have a study or an office in my home, a little place I can really work and get away from things and just kind of use that as like a workshop or like a workstation, I guess. Have a beautiful home inside and out. Have it clean and look like a house in a movie, like one of those like perfect looking beautiful houses. That's kind of what I wanted to go through this video. It might be a little bit of a longer one, but we had to catch up on some 7 years of missing out. So, but yeah, every year I want to keep coming back to these talking points and see how things have changed. Hopefully they keep getting better. So thank you for watching. If you're not my future self, I know, like I said, I'm posting this publicly, but like I said, it's more for myself to look back in the future. But if you did watch it, thank you. And hopefully you at least learned something, something that I was wanting to teach my younger self or my future self or learn from myself in general. Hopefully you took away something and learned something and can use it in your own life. So yeah, thanks again, and have a good one.